is again predicting a victory in the South Carolina primary. USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes reports.
Joe Biden does have a slim lead in the latest polls in South Carolina, followed closely by Bernie Sanders and Tom Steyer. The state has its primary this Saturday, and he says he expects to win it. 1 point's enough, he says, but he believes he'll win it by a lot more than that. He also says if he doesn't end up winning the Democratic nomination, it will mean that the Democratic Party has lost its roots.
We have always stood for a multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multi-dimensional party. My basis of support has always been working class folks who are white and black, and the black community, and high school educated people who just deserve a shot.
Biden was speaking there on NBC's Today Show.
On-field workouts for college players looking to make it in the NFL are taking place in Indianapolis. And you're listening to USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290, 800-965-1290.
The Democratic-led House Judiciary Committee is considering changes to the FISA Act during the so-called markup week. Republicans, including ranking member Doug Collins of Georgia, believe that Democrats are making America less safe. He explains why on Fox News.
Because they're wanting to play games with the FISA. I mean, there are certain provisions that we do need to extend, and those are things like roving wiretaps, things that we've been dealing with that deal with terrorists around the world so that we can keep safe. But what they don't want to deal with is the actual FISA process and FISA court itself, which because they don't want to acknowledge the Horowitz report, they don't want to acknowledge the fact that, as the president said, this should never happen to another president, and frankly, should never happen to an American citizen like Carter Page. Again, you get to the very roots there, and we start putting protections in this to make it do what it was supposed to do, and that's protect us from foreign terrorists not spying on American citizens. Those are the kind of changes we need to make, and the Democrats are just locked in an eternal battle with themselves because they don't want to acknowledge what happened.
House Republican leader from California, Kevin McCarthy, calls the ongoing turmoil on Wall Street concerning.
Have we allowed too much to move out of the country? Are we reliant upon other countries to make sure our economy continues to move?
Speaking at the Capitol, McCarthy says he's confident the stock market will come back after growing concerns about the coronavirus. He also suggested the U.S. is too reliant on global supply chains. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Welcome to this evening's episode of Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and we are a production of America Matters Media, the home of quality conversation. You can check us out on the web at americamatters.us. That's americamatters.us. We are also on Facebook at facebook.com/Reno Rush Hour. That's also my Twitter handle, so you can follow me there and like me on Facebook. I also have a YouTube, an YouTube channel. Under Reno Rush Hour, and then also on the America Matters Rush Hour channel as well. So lots of places you can check us out. So this is an interactive program. I would really like to have you call in today because I have a wonderful guest with a terrific topic that you're really going to want to check out and pay attention to today. Today, if I can catch my breath, it's toll-free from anywhere in the world, so it won't cost you anything. 844-790-TALK, 844-790-8255, or you can just drop a line in the comments box here on the Facebook watch party when I get that popped up. My very special guest today, and this is going to be a continuing series every third Thursday, and we're going to specially brand this for you too. I have Dr. Dennis Patterson of Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists, Dr. Dennis Patterson. And if you go to nvadvancedpain.com, is that what it is? nvadvancedpain.com. nvadvancedpain.com. That's all. You can get all the information there. It's a fabulous website. They have so many amazing resources there because Dr. Patterson is just such a great doctor. I mean, I want to call you something else, like just a great practitioner, because you're so much more than a doctor.
Well, thanks, Kelly.
And really, I mean, you.
Where do I mail the check to?
I'm going to let you really tell who you are and what you do, but the holistic approach you use to pain management and steering specifically away from pharmaceuticals is really such a big deal to me and to the community and really to the world at large these days. And I know a big deal is made about the opioid crisis, whatnot. And I have my own feelings about that because I am an opioid patient because of my chronic illnesses. However, it doesn't work for everybody. It's not good for everybody. And even being able to, for some people, even to just mitigate partially the usage of it is an amazing thing.
Correct.
So enough of me. Dr. Dennis Patterson, welcome to the set.
Thanks, Kelly. It's always great to see you, and thank you for having me back.
Oh, gosh, absolutely. And I can't wait for this series. But today's topic is spinal stenosis and how to manage your chronic pain. And spinal stenosis is huge. I can't get over how many people I know that have it, myself included. My mother just had, my 81-year-old mother just had a spinal laminectomy, and we will talk about what that is in a minute or later in the show. Our friend and show host here, Bill Kendall, a prominent lawyer here in town, just had a spinal laminectomy. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who suffer from this. It's millions of people. And I think as, modern medicine has gotten better, we're living longer. And that's allowing degenerative diseases to become a bigger issue in the United States. And that's basically what spinal stenosis is. It's a degenerative condition that over time, the wear and tear our bodies takes, we develop a narrower spinal canal. And, multiple things can contribute to it. One, it can be, disc bulges. So as we get older, our discs bulge a little bit. The joints in our spine that are called facet joints, they can get swollen and hypertrophied. And then there's a ligament posteriorly called the ligament flavum that can get enlarged and push in. And if all those structures start to push on the canal, it's kind of like your garden hose. If you're watering the flowers and you make a wrong turn, the hose gets kinked, and the next thing you know, not much water is coming out. That's basically what happens with your spine. And if you get a kink in the hose, there's not much information getting down to the legs, and patients will, develop numbness, tingling, weakness in the lower extremities, and it can progressively get worse over time if not treated.
And, would you consider spinal stenosis a form of very severe arthritis?
Well, I think arthritis contributes to it, but I don't think it's 100%
but it's a different
of the problem.
Okay, so that's a different thing. Interesting. And there's no specific cause. It's just
natural
part of use of the body and aging, and
correct.
There's no way to prevent it. There's really just nothing you can do. Either you're going to get it or you're not.
Exactly. And I think, as you develop symptoms, what you'll notice as a patient is that when you're upright or you're trying to walk, that you develop the symptoms. And you can walk or stand a certain amount of time before you start to notice that numbness, tingling, or weakness, or burning in the legs. But as soon as you sit and you lean forward, all your symptoms will go away completely. And it usually takes a couple of minutes, and then you stand back up and you can stand or walk that distance again, and your symptoms come back. So it's a classic thing that when you're upright, you notice it, but when you're sitting and leaning forward, you feel a ton better.
And is this something that contributes to sciatica?
Yeah.
What people call sciatica?
Yeah, sciatica, is a generic term just meaning pain shooting down the leg. And so it can be multiple things. And you're exactly right. Spinal stenosis causes pain down the legs. And so a lot of times patients may say, oh, that's my sciatica firing up. And it's actually their spinal stenosis.
Yeah. And does it pinch the sciatic nerve?
Yeah,
a
or the
lot of
nerves that
times, or
contribute to that.
those are all the same general
Correct.
nerves. So,
Correct.
yeah, and Grandma, 60 years ago called it, my sciatica's acting up. So yeah, it just kind of got called that, but there's really not a specific thing called sciatica.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
that general shooting pain down either side of the leg. We're about to go to a break, but tell me about, you have you do these talks.
Correct.
At Northern Nevada Medical Center. You have one coming up next Tuesday, or no, not next Tuesday, 2 weeks,
Tuesday,
a
March
week from
10th.
Tuesday, March 10th at
Correct.
6 o'clock. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Yeah, about every quarter I do an open to the public presentation on a certain pain topic, and anybody from the community is welcome to come. And in this one, we're actually going to cover spinal stenosis to piggyback from today's radio show.
Awesome. Well, that's going to be great, and I will give out information on how to RSVP for that, and more information on my website. We'll be back for the second segment of today's Rush Hour with Dr. Dennis Patterson from Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists after this, with spinal stenosis. Come back.
It's sweet. There's no place like it. And as we all know, it's where the heart is. Home. It matters. I'm Grant Brewer with Home at Last, a housing program of Nevada Rural Housing Authority. Join me and expert guests every Tuesday at 4 p.m. on KCKQ 1180 for Home Matters, a show dedicated to all things, well, home. Each week I chat with the industry's best. Lenders, real estate professionals, builders, insurance experts, home inspectors, developers, and specialized housing program experts. They grace the mic and we dig into today's hot housing topics. Tune in to Home Matters each Tuesday at 4 p.m. at 1180 a.m. KCKQ, the home of community radio. Or listen live and listen again online at americamatters.us. Join us.
Welcome to my house. It's my house.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In '05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in '09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ,
a Lotus broadcast station.
the power of radio since 1967.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the second segment of today's Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush, and I have special guest, Dennis Patterson, Dr. Dennis Patterson. God, why? I'm going to stop doing that. We're so young. You're just so young. keep thinking
don't
you're
mind
like
at all, Kelly.
28 years old, and I
don't feel it, but I wish I was. I always joke that I'm 22, but I'm
you could
nowhere near
pass.
there.
I know, you could pass, I swear. Dr. Dennis Patterson of Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists, and you have some people with you because you also, there are multiple ways to deal with, our topic today is spinal stenosis, which is rough. It's rough. If you've ever had what people refer to as sciatica, which is extreme pain down your legs, numbness, tingling, that time when you can't get out of bed. You're
correct.
That was the worst. I thought, my God, what if I can't ever move again?
Yeah.
It's scary. I mean, literally, I got stuck in bed for 3 days. My whole lower body was locked up. I couldn't move. It was weird.
Nerve pain is excruciating. It's not something you can shake. It's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year if you've got it. And there's just no getting relief no matter what you do for the most part.
It's bad. I mean, you can, dial it down a little bit with some baclofen and gabapentin, and there's some stuff that will help,
But it usually doesn't go away
But
without
it
treatment.
does not. It doesn't go away. Now, we've been joined by Ray Gorman of Vertos. Vertos?
Vertos, yep.
Vertos. And tell me about what MILD does.
MILD is just a procedure where we go in and remove the excess ligament. We remove the problem and leave nothing behind. And it's just a incision about the size of a baby aspirin.
This is so cool. You have a business card here that has a hole punch through it, and that is the size of the incision.
Yep.
Look at this. Just I can see right through it.
Yeah, and you can just use a Band-Aid to close up after the procedure is done.
Wow. And so lumbar spinal stenosis, of course, is what we're talking about. And so what level of stenosis will this work for?
It's a great question. For us, what's been proven is that anything greater than a 2.5 millimeter ligament is something that we can treat.
Wow.
Yeah, as I was alluding to earlier, the wear and tear that you get, the disc is pushing in, those facet joints get swollen and hypertrophied, and that ligament starts to push into the canal. And so you're looking at ways to make the canal bigger. And so this is one of the ways that indirectly you can make the canal bigger by digging out this ligament. And so if you get an MRI on a patient and you see that ligament is hypertrophied and it's greater than 2.5 millimeters on the cross sections, then as an interventional pain doctor, I can go in there and make that small incision, and I can posteriorly undig that ligament or dig it out and basically create more space, and the spinal stenosis symptoms can improve on a patient.
Well, I love this analogy here. It's like removing a kink from a drinking straw.
Correct. It's
exactly so it's like you got this, little excess piece in here.
Yeah.
And it's like making it, straight so that, I love that. That's cool. That's a really cool way.
Yeah, and traditionally what we'd seen, with these patients is that, 10 years ago, if they'd come and see me, we're talking maybe PT, a couple epidurals, and then they had to go get an open incision and a laminectomy. And so what's happened over the last decade is we've had two different options. One's mild and one is the Vertiflex Superion, are options that patients can look at to see if it can improve their symptoms without having to have the open surgery. And even, you always talk about going from conservative or the least invasive to the most invasive. And so you can get an epidural if your symptoms are cured, great. If it's not, you can look at doing the mild procedure or the Superion implant. If those don't work, we haven't done anything to the spine. You still got your virgin spine. You can still go see the surgeon and get your laminectomy.
Sure.
But there's a percentage of patients who are going to improve with these procedures without ever having to have the surgery.
We all hear about this minimally invasive surgery.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's
here?
exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the Superion procedure. What does that do?
So what that is an implant. So on the level that they've got stenosis, their spine, what you're going to do is you're going to put this posterior implant in between the spinous processes. And what it does, it prevents you from going into extension, or it limits how much extension you can do.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I was talking to you earlier. When a patient's upright, your spine is upright, you're kind of in an extension position, your canal gets tighter.
Okay.
When you sit and lean forward, your canal kind of opens up.
Okay.
And so that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to prevent that level from closing. And if we can prevent it by a couple degrees of extension, that may give the patient enough room to go from being symptomatic to asymptomatic and pain-free.
And with this one, it looks almost as small an incision, maybe slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Because this thing is closed up when you put it in, and then it opens once you're inside.
Correct. So what you do is you use x-rays or fluoroscopy. You target the level you want, and you get basically an introducer down between the levels. And then you use a series of dilators and kind of create almost like an open straw or a working cannula. And then through that working cannula, we'll actually go in. That you're exactly right. The implant is closed, and then we open the implant up, which then prevents those vertebral bodies from going into that extension position and helping the patient out. And the incision is about the size of a dime. It's not that that big either.
Wow, this is so cool. I'm just you know me. I'm fascinated by this stuff, and to think that there are people. There are men and women sitting around brainstorming better ways to help you and I and people in the community not be in pain and, not hurt getting there even.
Correct.
Easy,
Correct.
Amazing. This is amazing.
Well, the interesting part about the open surgeries, especially the laminectomy, there's a risk of infection. It's minimal, but there's still a risk.
Oh, yeah.
You can have a complication of a dural tear. That it's small, but it's a risk. And with these two procedures, that basically eliminates both those risks 100%. I don't think there's ever been a reported case with either one of infection or a dural tear. And so that's why it's just nice for a patient to have a safe option to try before getting an open surgery, which has complications, but minimal.
Potential.
Yeah, potential.
There's
but
always, but everybody knows that with any surgery, they're much lower than they ever have been in any point in history and time.
Correct.
But they're still there.
Correct.
They're always going to be, because you never know what the person's body is going to do. You can only control so much in the OR with the equipment.
Correct. Yeah.
But the less you have to mess with that body, and the less you have to invade with it, the lower chance something's going to go wrong.
Correct.
So, wow, this is so cool. Ray, tell me about working for the company. Vertos is the company that makes Mild. How did you get involved with them? How long have you worked for them, and what made you want to work for a company like this?
Yeah, great question. So I joined Vertos about a little over a year ago. I used to work with the neurostimulators that Dr. Patterson also works with his patients on. I just love this because it's such a simple procedure that our physicians are able to really do the procedure in anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Our patients are going home the same day, and we really encourage them to resume normal activity the very next day. And then some physical therapy about 3 weeks out. And the results really speak for themselves from the two studies that we have, Cleveland Clinic study, and then our Midas Encore study, where patients before Mild were walking about 8 minutes, and then after Mild about 56 minutes. And then if they were walking an average of 246 feet, they were walking almost 4,000 feet.
Wow.
So the results and the ease of the procedure were so encouraging for me to come over to Vertos.
Yeah, I bet. And what's your background before this? Do you have a medical background or more of a sales background? Or?
More of a sales background. I've been with a few different companies and really worked head to toe, but this is by far my favorite one.
That's very, very cool. And so have you been able to watch procedures?
Yeah. I've
wow.
been, especially in the first several months when we get a new doctor to come on, I'm with them throughout, and then after that they do the procedure all on their own, and It's
And
really
they're-
that easy.
And are you finding they're thrilled with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really...
Several times I hear them say that this is their favorite procedure because of the results and the little bit that they have to do.
That's really neat. And how long has Mild been on the market?
So it's been around since 2010. We came back to market in 2017, and we've really kind of spread the word across the nation and have had phenomenal growth. And it's really driven by patient results.
And Dr. Patterson, are you seeing an increase in patients, particularly like the boomers and the aging patients?
Oh, yeah. And that's what I was saying is that, we're living longer due to modern medicine. And because of that, we're seeing patients with more degenerative diseases pop up. And that's what this condition is. It's a degenerative disease that if you live long enough, you're going to get.
Yeah. And, wear and tear is wear and tear.
Wear and tear,
And
yeah.
when you're old, you're worn and torn. We've got to go to a break. We'll be back for the second half of today's Rush Hour with Kelly Rush, Dr. Dennis Patterson, and our guests, as well as Christian over there in the booth. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd with America Matters with Eddie Floyd, and I want to tell you something. I normally never do personal endorsements. I'm going to today because, as a lot of you know, I've been suffering from a knee operation, and I went finally, at the advice of my doctor, to Reno Cryotherapy. I have never in my life been so excited, and the results are phenomenal. 6490 South McCarran Boulevard, Building D, Suite 29. The phone number 689-8888.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Patterson. I'm the founder and owner of Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists. At Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists, we take a comprehensive approach to treating patients with chronic pain in the greater Reno, Tahoe area. We believe in the biopsychosocial model. This means we use multiple disciplines such as massage therapy, physical therapy, behavioral health, and medical treatments to treat your chronic pain. A plan of care is tailor-made for each individual patient. We always recommend conservative care first, but offer minimally invasive treatments when necessary. We are your one-stop shop. If it hurts, we can help. We pride ourselves in providing passionate care and making you feel welcome and understood. We are located in Reno and in Sparks, so give us a call to schedule a new patient consult at 284-8650. Again, that's 284-8650. Or visit our website at nvadvancedpain.com. We hope you choose Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists to be your center for injury rehabilitation. nvadvancedpain.com, 284-8650.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ.
A Lotus broadcast station.
The power of radio since 1967.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the second half of today's Rush Hour. I am your host, Kelly Rush. I am your Kelly Rush. And like I said at the top of the show, this is an interactive show. So call us with any questions or comments you might have about this information Dr. Patterson is giving us on spinal stenosis. 775-237-2266 is our text. 844-790-TALK is our toll-free call-in line. That's 844-790-8255, or you can drop a line in the Watch Party comments box. Dr. Patterson, if you are wanting to get more information on this, these procedures and spinal stenosis, Dr. Patterson is giving a talk at Northern Nevada Medical Center Tuesday, March 10th. It's not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. And it's free dinner. All seminars include free dinner. They do a lot of these up at Northern Nevada, and they're really excellent. The doctors up there are phenomenal. We are so lucky in this community in Reno, ever since Washoe Med even, before it was renowned. Yeah. We've had an excellent medical community here. And so, yeah, this is going to be a really good seminar. And I'm going to put the information on how to RSVP on the Rush Hour Radio Show page. But it's visit nnmc.com, nnmc.com/events, nnmc.com/events to RSVP. And again, that's next Tuesday, March 10th from 6 to 7. So.
Yeah, the other great part about this event that we're going to do is, besides me talking and giving a general overview, is our goal is to have patients who have had the procedures done be there and be patient advocates.
Yeah, Gregory.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when patients talk to patients and get to know each other's experience, then it's not like, oh, the doctor's just trying to sell me on something, or is this right for me? They can hear other people's stories, they can hear what they went through, and then they can, learn about the procedure and what a difference it's made in their life. And that means more to them than any information I can give a patient.
Oh, absolutely. And it just gives them a comfort level.
Correct.
To say, oh, well, you're walking upright and don't have any pain and doing a dance.
Yeah.
If it worked for you, I'll at least get more information.
Correct.
And start doing my research and get a consultation and look into it.
Yeah. And the other thing,
and then some people jump all over it.
Exactly. And the other thing we plan on having there is the vendors. So Ray and Christine will both be there, and they will actually have demos of their equipment and can give more information to the patient as well too. So not only do they get to hear what I have to say, they can see what the vendors have to say, and then they can see what the patients have to say, and kind of take as much information as they can home with them. And then after that, if it's something they think that they want to pursue, I'd be more than happy to see them and make sure they're a good candidate for it.
Mm-hmm. And if they're not, what other options can you offer?
Oh, God, our clinic is very comprehensive. As we've talked about in the past, we believe in the biopsychosocial model. So any patient who has chronic pain, we're going to address it from, 3 different aspects. One, we're going to address it from the medical aspect. Are there medications? Are there injections or surgeries or things that we can do to help them out? The second thing is patients with chronic pain end up having kind of depression and anxiety as a result. That's natural. And so we've got a behavioral health individual who can kind of help with the depression and other aspects and kind of hopefully help them get through this episode in their lives. And then the physical part about it is, physical therapy. We've got massage therapists, physical therapists, and so they can treat the patients and try to increase their function. So between the 3 of us being collaborative are the 3 different areas. We can really make a difference in patients' lives.
And what are some of the other things that you treat in your office besides spinal stenosis?
Oh, God, we treat everything. The joke I always say, if it hurts, we treat it. But, the major things that we do are a lot of spinal pain. Neck, lower back. The other things we treat are chronic migraine. We have patients who have, bad joints from either osteoarthritis. We treat that. Very comprehensive clinic. I mean, there's so many things I could list off. It would be impossible for me to get through it.
Well, so go to nvadvancedpain.com. nvadvancedpain.com is their website, and it is very comprehensive. There's so much great information there, and especially about the biosocial psychosocial model, which I love. I love that term. I love everything about the concept, and it works. That's the thing.
Yes.
It works. And a lot of, we have actually two doctors with shows here, Dr. James Forsyth and Dr. Dan Royal, both of whom are holistic MDs.
Yeah.
They're both HMDs and MDs, and they are integrative.
Correct.
Physicians. Jim is an integrative oncologist, and Dan is just an integrative MD. And they also speak of the biopsychosocial model. And like I said, I love that term. The more it can get out in the mainstream, be heard as a term, just be recognized, and that model can be accepted, the better.
Become more mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
I find that, patients who come and think, doctor, how are you going to cure me? It usually turns out bad,
right?
Because I can do my best, but if they don't buy in and they don't do their best to try to improve their situation, you're just not. It's not going to go well. And a lot of patients, who don't get better, a lot of times, they'll come in and they'll say, "Hey, I'm not doing well," and I'll go down the list. They say, "Well, did you do this? Did you do this?" And I can tell you half the time it's like, "Well, no, I haven't done that. No, I haven't done that." I'm like, "Well, how do you expect to get better? I'm giving you advice. I can give you the advice, but I can't make you do it." And at the end, a patient's got to buy in their own care, and they've got to put the effort in. And if they do, usually the outcome works.
That's it. And I think we're starting to get to a point in society where we're realizing that, we have to, you can't just pay somebody and expect them to do all the work and you realize benefits.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's a cooperation. It's an effort on both parts. And when it works, you want to put in more effort, and you want to, when you start to see results, you start to feel good about the effort you're putting in too.
Yeah.
And then it just works, and when things work, it feels good. And then it just, those ripples start to expand, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
I always, me and my staff always talk about it, that pain management is a team sport. It's not an individual. It takes all of us to make a difference in somebody's lives, and that includes the patient. The patient's got to be their own advocate. They've got to follow through with things, because if they don't buy in and they don't, then nothing's gonna get accomplished.
I think you're absolutely right. And again, it's tough initially when somebody is in pain and has been for a long time, especially if depression has set in.
Correct.
It's great that they've even taken the first step to try and do something about it. So, if you can get them to the point where then they're starting to participate and see results, then you got them. You got something. So, correct. And when they come to somebody like you and see your countenance and your energy and your staff and that environment, how can they help but want to get after it?
And you're exactly right. It's I always say that sometimes it's kind of an energy transfer. A lot of patients with chronic pain, they're depressed, they're anxious, and they come in and they just don't feel good, and they don't want to talk, they don't want to be interactive. And so a lot of times I've got to be overly the cheerleader or overly happy, and it's almost like an energy transfer that takes place. Like I'm trying to give them a little bit of my positivity to hopefully build their positivity.
It's great that you recognize that.
Yeah.
It's so important. It is so important. And that's yay.
Yeah.
Yay. I try to do that, and pass that on too. And I love that people are starting to get it, and because it works. And it's very, very exciting. And how about you? What have you experienced any kind of pain or injury or chronic pain like that?
Yeah, I've been a patient once over at one of my doctors in Sacramento, and I almost went to an ESI just from picking up my kids and turning and twisting the wrong way. But I just got prescribed some physical therapy, went through for about 3 to 4 weeks, and did fantastic.
Oh, good.
But it's great to know all these great doctors are out there to be able to help with all these awesome procedures.
Well, see, you started off right, though. I mean, you're in good shape. You're young. You know.
I try. Dr. Patterson kind of leads the way.
What I just learned about is Ray tried to cheat on me and go to see another doctor.
Right. Well, but in California.
Yeah, he was a little closer.
Are you from California?
Yeah, he's from California.
Yeah.
I only tease Ray.
Well, we'll let you pass on that one. But it's very, very tough, though. Dr. Patterson knows my history. I have a genetic chronic immune system disease, HLA-B27 positive. It's a genetic blood marker, which causes what's called spondyloarthropathy, and which is inflammatory joint conditions. I have 4 different types of that arthritis. Then I have the osteo, including multiple stenosis in my neck. Then there's the fibromyalgia, then there's the recurrent migraines, then there's a bunch of attendant crap with that, and then there's the mental illness side. So I'm a ball of fun. Oh, and then scoliosis. I keep forgetting about that one because that's brand new. I just learned about that one this past summer. So, there's a bunch of stuff going on at all times. I mean, there's no such thing as, if I woke up and didn't have pain, I'd think I was dead.
Exactly.
I wouldn't know what to do, seriously. And, I wouldn't know what it's like not to be in pain. I have no idea.
But the beautiful thing is you've figured out a way to manage it.
Oh.
You're doing this show, you're active.
I'm fine.
The fact that you can do that and keep a positive attitude is fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What else am I going to do? Curl up and die? Or get the F up and go?
That's right. Yeah.
We've got to go to another break. We'll be back with the 4th and final segment of today's Rush Hour with Kelly Rush, Ray Gorman, and Christine after these messages. Come on back with us.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Oliver X. Join me and the superstar Janez Carter weekday mornings from 8 to 9 on the Reno Todd Tonight Show on America Matters Media.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the fourth and final segment of today's Rush Hour. I am Kelly Rush, and I am speaking with the inimitable Dr. Dennis Patterson. I'm so glad to have you back on my airwaves. And
Thank you.
For the next 3 third Thursdays at least, but I have a feeling this will continue.
I think it's going to go on for a long time.
I think so. This is so great. And we're going to get this branded and get you music, and this is going to be your show. This is going to be your Thursday. We'll have to get a name for it and everything. But today's topic with Dr. Patterson is spinal stenosis, and I want to let everybody know once again that next, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, March 10th, Dr. Patterson will be at Northern Nevada Medical Center with free dinner, by the way, free dinner, and their food is damn good. It's really good. Not your mama's hospital food, I'll tell you that. But you'll be giving this awesome talk from 6 to 7 p.m. About the different treatment options to manage chronic pain from spinal stenosis, including Mild and Vertiflex, both Ray and Christine's products. So it's going to be really cool because you can find out about this little, punch hole size incision that Mild you get with Mild, or this cool little implant that's maybe about a dime size that goes in closed and then opens up. This is so cool. You see this? I know you guys can't see this real well, but you got to come to the talk so you can see it in person. But again, Tuesday, March 10th, 6 to 7, RSVP, you got to RSVP so they can count you for dinner, nnmc.com, that's Northern Nevada Medical Center's initials, nnmc.com/events, nnmc.com/events, and you'll see their whole calendar because they have these every week, and they're really, really awesome. And Northern Nevada Medical Center is a great place. I have to say that. I don't have great luck with their skeleton staff nurses, but other than that, the staff there is great. The doctors, all of the doctors up there are great. Every single one of my mother's medical staff is all there, and they're great. My neurologist, Dr. Nuthi, is there. She's terrific. I love her. Dr. Patterson is there. He's right across. His Sparks office is right across the hallway from Dr. Nuthi's. My mom's cardiologist, Dr. Thomas Trong, is there. I love him. Just they're great. Really, her primary, Dr. McGreeny, excellent. And so I'm a dyed-in-the-wool renown baby. All of my staff is renowned, and I love them super much. But I have spent 2 full, very long stays at Northern Nevada. My mother has had multiple extended stays at Northern Nevada, and they're wonderful. So that's my commercial for them. Dr. Patterson, Spinal Stenosis, next Tuesday, March 10th, 6 to 7 p.m. Includes free dinner, excellent food, nnmc.com/events. Now,
yeah, and so far I think we've got 15 to 20 people
already
reserved.
registered. Wow!
So we would love to have as many as we can get in. Let's make it a packed house.
That would be awesome. About how many people does the room fit?
Oh God!
Where is
it?
it?
I think I've had 50 or 60 people.
Is it in the CAF?
No, it's actually the medical office building to the left of the hospital, kind of connected by the tunnel.
Oh, is it in the conference room there?
Second floor. That's
right off. It's left of the elevator.
Just left of the elevator.
Perfect. And there's a bathroom right there too, which is really helpful. So anyway, back to spinal stenosis. What is the procedure? Okay, somebody is just in dire pain. Their sciatica is just acting up. They can't handle it anymore. What is the procedure to get an appointment with Nevada Advanced Pain
Oh,
Specialists?
it's easy. You can go to our website, which has a contact us, and it sends I think it's admin, ADMIN, at nvadvancedpain.com. If you send an email in there, that will go to one of us, and we'll reach out to you and give you an appointment. Or you can call 775-284-8650 is our office line number, and just tell them you want a new patient appointment. Dixie, who is our new patient scheduler, would be more than happy to set you up.
Awesome. And the website is nvadvancedpain.com, nvadvancedpain.com. Beautiful logo with Wild Horse there. And it's just the website alone, you can get so much information. You just hover over the word treatments, and you see all the options you have.
That's pretty extensive, right? It's got to be about
3 columns.
About 40, 50
at
different
least,
things that we do. Yeah.
At least. And I mean, just not one of them is drugs.
Yeah, that's part of what we do.
Of course, it's an option. It is an option.
But we realize that that's a passive treatment,
right,
that's not going to cure them long term. And our goal is to do something that's going to hopefully get them
stop the problem.
Yeah, stop the problem and minimize what drugs they have to take.
Absolutely. And I mean, just what's RACZ caudal neurolysis?
That is a procedure where patients have probably had a prior back surgery, that they develop scar tissue within the epidural space. And so it is a catheter that you can pass through the epidural space and inject a type of medication that will actually eat up the scar tissue and hopefully recreate the epidural space and get rid of the patient's pain.
That's very, very cool. And so, of course, massage therapy is, near and dear to my heart. I was a massage therapist for 5 years until I got crippled. Couldn't do it anymore, which was a bummer. I don't say I'm good at much in this world. I was a darn good massage therapist, and I was a certified reflexologist and level 3 Reiki master, so I used a lot of energy work and crystals and incorporated a lot of different methodologies in with I didn't just rub on people's skin. And
as a osteopath, we're trained in all the manipulation or tissue massage techniques, and love that stuff. It works well.
I love going to osteopaths, and mindfulness and meditation for chronic pain.
Yeah.
And it's so effective.
Correct.
And I don't think people understand just not how powerful the mind-body connection is, how critical, how integral, how it is.
Yeah, a lot of patients are always asking me, like, how do you mean that's going to help me? And I try to explain to them that, if you have a negative experience in your life and that leads to negative emotions, then that leads to negative actions. But if you can look at that situation, you can't change the negative thing that took place in your life, but if you can change the emotional aspects that you have, or the way you view it or see it, and if you can flip it into more of a positive type thing, then your actions are going to be more positive, and it's going to lead to a better feeling about the situation.
Absolutely. And the effect that has on your body,
it's huge,
is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's how it has that effect is through your brain chemistry.
Correct.
And your brain chemistry is what drives every action in your body.
Absolutely.
That's what the mind-body connection is. It's science.
Correct.
It's science, folks. Yeah. It's not woo-woo. It's not, witchcraft. It's nothing secret, nothing scary.
Yeah.
It is it's just pure biology.
Yeah.
And physiology.
And at the end of the day, you want to treat the whole patient. If you got a bad ankle, how's that ankle affecting, how you feel about life? How's that affecting your relationship with others in your life? Because if you all of a sudden can't carry out your social duties at the house, that's probably creating a strained relationship in your marriage. Maybe issues with your kids.
That ripple effect I talked about.
Exactly. And so you got to treat the whole patient. You just can't treat that focal problem.
Yeah. And so much of, this fracturedness or this friction that we come up against comes from this.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just our resistance to it.
Correct. I think because a lot of times when a physician says, hey, I think you need to go consider this, and especially if it's something like mindfulness or cognitive behavioral therapy, a lot of patients then think, well, God, that doc just thinks it's in my head.
Right.
And that's not what we're saying at all.
When anybody suggests anything to you, just as human beings, for self-protection, we're conditioned to immediately resist.
Correct.
If we can train ourselves to just sit neutrally for a couple seconds before we consider any reaction to whatever is being said, we'd make better decisions, and things would go so much smoother for everybody.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
And it's only because of that science happening in our brains at every minute.
Yeah. And there's, so many studies showing that mindfulness works, and it's actually one of the top line treatments for patients with pain issues. Yeah. But you got to be open to it. That's the key.
Yeah, and it takes practice and hard work, because we're so the human brain takes in 50 bits of information at a time. The average human brain. We are inundated with 5 million bits of information per second.
I believe it.
Yeah. So
especially social media nowadays.
That's it. That's from all of this. So so we've got a lot to deal with. Yeah. So we've got our work cut out for us, but we're getting good at it, especially you. So thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you, Dr. Patterson.
Yeah, thank you,
Ray. Thank you, Christine. Again, spinal stenosis, 6 to 7 p.m. next Tuesday, March 10th, Northern Nevada Medical Center, nnmc.com/events, and go to nvadvancedpain.com, nvadvancedpain.com for all the information on Dr. Patterson and his practice. We will see him again next month, third Thursday, for another great topic and episode. See you then.
So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been, full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Rich is just a really, really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to